Hello, David Barron here, University of Hypnotism. A couple things interesting have happened recently I think would be incredibly beneficial for any hypnotist out there. First of all, I've spoken to some hypnotists who are very well trained and very good at what they do, but the one thing they have seemed to lack and definitely have expressed an interest in is networking, learning from other hypnotists. And so, I've been doing this for nearly 18 years now. So we just sort of have developed a mentor-coach type of relationship. So what I want to do is, if anyone is out there who has a hypnosis practice, wants to get some good advice, some skills, wants to build it, and basically just understand a little bit more about this process, I'm presenting that to you, and I would love to help. It's one of the things I love doing. Now, the thing that I wanted to leave you with and teach you is something I have been talking with these people that I've sort of developed. To me, by now, it seems sort of obvious, but I guess it's not for a lot of people. And I call it, when I'm working with another hypnotist, or working with a client rather, I call it going for the wow. Now, first of all, let's talk about what wow means. Wow is an English expression. I'm sure it's used in other languages, but it's an English expression of awe, amazement, and surprise. Getting that from a hypnosis client is a confirmation that they know something dramatic has taken place. So don't underestimate the expression wow. I have personally made it my unspoken intent when I'm working with every client to try and make it so that when they emerge from hypnosis and I say, "How was that?" that they go, "Wow, I really want that," because it demonstrates to me they got something dramatic, and it's one of the indicators that for me the client is going to have success. So as I was talking to a couple of the people I've been coaching, it occurred to me that there are some things that we can do that anyone who is a hypnotist can do to get that wow. And so here's what I came up with. These are about 8 points, and I'm sure there's more, but they're pretty dramatic. The very first thing that you can do is set that as your intent. Remember, you're helping your client create an experience. So imagine that you're getting inside their head, and your intent is to have them come out with a wow, something that is dramatic, almost magical by experience. So set your intent in the very first place. That alone, if you don't get anything else, if you make your whole purpose and intent to get a wow from everyone you work with, by trial and error, you will find out how to do it. Okay, so that's the most important thing. So here's some things that you can do in addition to that. There's a way that I build it into my pre-talk. I say something, I always ask them, well, what do you think it's going to be like to be very deeply in hypnosis? Now, whatever they say, I will nod my head, agree, and I will sort of explain that how I understand hypnosis, how I think of hypnosis is an incredibly intense and a pleasurable state of focus. And in fact, I want to make it so profound, so intensely enjoyable, and so pleasant that we can make change happen really easily. And I will often tell people, my goal is to have you emerge and say, wow. Now, at that point, I've built some anticipation, and they think, oh, this is going to be really cool. I'll then follow up by saying, the only thing you have to do to get there is just follow my instructions. That's it. Just follow my instructions. So I've described it as, on one hand, incredibly enjoyable, wonderfully intense, and really pleasant, and really simple. Just follow my instructions. So now their motivation, their anticipation is increased. The third thing I mentioned is freely use superlatives. Don't go for a feeling that's good. Go beyond good. Make a feeling that's great. And it keeps getting better and better and better. So always focus on describing things with superlatives when you're doing the hypnosis, especially positive feelings. I can't emphasize that enough. When you're describing positive feelings, don't just make them better, make them continuously better. So you want to always have them say, feeling great, wonderful, and it keeps getting better and better at every moment. When you're describing these positive feelings, it's really important to emphasize what's called associated language. Now, what that means is you don't say, it feels better and better, it feels incredible. You say, you feel better and better. You feel incredible. And that way, it's not something, when you say it, they're not really experiencing, they're looking at an emotion, but when they say you are feeling better and better, then they're taking it on, they're accepting it as themselves. Another point, be expressive. I understand their eyes are closed, and that hypnotic monotone that you may be familiar with will and may and often puts people into hypnosis, but it's unlikely to get a big wow response. So with a client in hypnosis, put energy into the words as if you feel them. And this will magnify what the client feels because of the very strong rapport that you have with them. And also, as I'm doing now, gesture with your hands. The client is not going to see it, but it's going to make your voice congruent with your actions. So, sometimes I stand up and gesticulate, but not always. But just feel free to gesture with your hands. Another bullet point on this is sometimes following the hypnotic instructions, I will put in just an arbitrary point in the hypnosis session, something that is totally out of context, so they will not necessarily remember it. And it will sound something like this. I'll be saying, and you go deeper and deeper, feeling better and better. And this is where I put in. And because the wonderful sensation of falling creates an access to the subconscious mind, upon emerging from hypnosis, your first word will be wow. And just keep going deeper and deeper and deeper, feeling better and better. Now, that has no context to relate it to. I'm talking about in one beginning of the sentence, the wonderful sensation of falling, creating access to the subconscious mind. In the set of the sentence, I'm saying, when you emerge from hypnosis, you'll say, wow. And those two sentences those two parts of the sentence aren't related to each other really, and they're not related to any other part of the hypnosis session. So they usually don't have a conscious awareness of the instructions, and therefore it is in their subconscious mind. Last thing I do is, and if you do these things, you won't get a wow every time, but you'll get it a lot. Just understand that. When they emerge from hypnosis, and I tell them, feeling great, wide awake, alert, and then I'll ask them, how was that? Now, often they'll be smiling or laughing or giggling, and I just continue to laugh and giggle with them because it is that positive. That is usually the point when I say, how was that? That they'll say, wow. And at that point, I'll remind them, great, oh, awesome, I got the wow. And they'll laugh some more. Doing that ratifies the intensity of the hypnosis that they experienced. So I really hope you go over this again and again. It's really important. You're going to have more and more fun doing hypnosis and helping clients if you really, and you always go for the wow. And if you want to talk with me some more, if you want to do a little more coaching with your hypnosis practice or get better at hypnosis, man, I love doing this stuff, and I love helping people improve their hypnosis skills and improve their hypnosis business. So make your effort to try and contact me where you can, and I will be happy to talk with you. Thank you so much. It's been really fun. I hope you've valued this and enjoyed it as much as I have. Take care.